Chop and drop is about biomass. Using a hand scythe, this one's got a really long handle, I'm able to sweep this shelf. Remember, this was a bund. It's the edge of a level terrace. Now this grass is as tall as my chest, but what I do is I sweep it from here, cut it off, and drop it down here to the next terrace, and then we're walking on it like mulch. So we're basically mulching the next terrace down as these materials get broken down. And by the way, I'm Justin Hitt from Prosperity Homestead. As these materials get broken down, they compost in place, they're going to feed the soil, and if we have a water event, the water will soak in this channel and feed these plants. Now, believe it or not, the plants probably don't need to be fed at all, and you can see that by their abundance of growth. But as you're going through here, I find all kinds of greens, I find dill. It's almost like a scavenger hunt. But with these bunds, we want them to be vegetated strips. So what we don't want is a lot of this dead biomass here. But again, we don't want exposed soil. So we want to be able to cut the grass here, and as we're cutting this grass, each season, it's going to get more and more like a lawn. And then when it's about knee high, we cut it, sweep it down into the channel for the next row, and then use it as a mulch so we have no bare soil, so that we're reducing evaporation, so that we're giving our plants downslope some nutrients, but we're opening up this vegetative strip again for grass to grow again. Now, of course, we want to catch it before plants go to seed. It's not always possible, but understand that if this stuff is in the vegetative strip is cut and put into the path below, as it rots, as it provides you a place where you won't get your feet muddy, as it gets trampled on, it will protect the soil, feed the soil, and help us increase our carbon in the soil itself. It's a carbon sequestration method. Here's another great fact about this, is that if you have animals that you need to feed from grass and other materials, you can actually sweep it down with a scythe into the path, come back through the path with a fork this stuff up into a wheelbarrow, and then go feed the animals themselves. Now, if you have animals that you impound in an area like this, you could isolate them in a row by putting up a temporary fence, and then these materials that were swept down into the path become food. It becomes something for chickens to scratch. It becomes feed as your animals are clearing out mature beds. So once you come through, this is dill actually, so if you're harvesting dill, that's a little different story. You don't want chickens to get into that. But you may have an area or a section of your terrace where you can put chickens in, impound them, let them eat the biomass, let them eat the bugs that are in the soil, let them eat up the fruit that wasn't harvested or it was over in abundance. You don't want to put them on the bunds though. The vegetative strip is going to be cleared by hand. The vegetative strip is part of your nutrient cycling. It's biomass to chop and drop, but there's nothing wrong with impounding your chickens on the other side of it, or impounding other small animals and letting them scratch and manure and remove other plants. It's just these bunds are structural elements of your terrace garden, of your broadacre, and even though they're underneath a lot of this stuff around here, I can kind of tell where they are by the change in elevation. But if you keep clearing them, it gives you access to harvest, it gives you nutrients, it gives you a lot of veg, it gives you fodder for your animals, it gives so much more than the small amount of effort to go in and cut it with a scythe. I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. If you have questions about this or anything else, I know this looks messy, please write into our website at www.prosperityhomestead.org. You'll discover that this method works well. It is a method that is common across Asian cultures, Middle Eastern cultures, tropical environments, temperate environments, and it is essentially about carbon capture and soil development. The plants that grow are a byproduct and again part of that nutrient cycle. So see you in the next video. I'll look for your questions in the comments, and thanks for watching.